Today is Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. Basically a break-even day. I made $6, which is like 0.26%. So no red day. Technically keeping the green streak alive or whatever. That's cool. It kind of feels like a wasted day. I was on watching the charts about 10 minutes before 6 a.m. like I pretty much always am. And I was done trading. I think I closed my second trade. I closed at like 607 or 608. So I spent 15 minutes, 18 minutes in the market this morning. I was done. And this is a morning where I don't really have a time crunch, so I could have traded well after the opening bell even. Seems kind of wasteful. And I didn't really do that great either, which is whatever. But I think from now on mornings where I'm going to be able to trade the market, I think I'll bust my account into more moves so I can get some better quality practice in. There's a big difference in watching things happen and thinking, oh, I could have done this or I could have done that, versus actually being in the moment and actively trading it. So I think I'll change that a little bit. There are mornings where I am on a little bit of a time crunch, or I know I'm not going to give the market my full attention. So busting it into 2 or 3 trades works well for me. But I think I can do better, or at least learn a little more on these mornings where I get to spend more time in the market. So I think I'll focus on that. But not a red day. Technically keeping the green streak alive, and hopefully we can make a day 4 tomorrow on Thursday. All right. This is where I made my 2 moves on Wednesday morning. Ticker NUWE, this 15-second chart. I kind of missed the move starting just before 6 a.m. here. So I was kind of behind the ball to start off with. We had a nice squeeze through 15 up to 16. Then we kind of had a little bit of a pullback. I ended up getting in on this green candle right here. Boom. I thought we were going to start squeezing up here. Of course we didn't. Within a few candles, it started dipping down a little bit. Ended up making an exit here. I only lost about 10 cents a share here, but I thought we were going to start a reversal. Had I just taken a step back and caught my breath for a minute, I would have noticed this consolidation and a dipping pattern here, and then I could have made an entry breaking this high here for a nice squeeze for, I don't know, that was probably $1.50, $2 worth right there, but I didn't. So poor entry, and I got out with a small loser. That's fine with me. Instead of just totally shitting the bed right off the bat. A few minutes later, I made my second move. And this is where I made up that small loss and got into a very small amount of profit. I think I finished the day right at $6. I made my entry, boom, on this green candle. Once we broke like the $17 mark, I hit buy at like $16.90, and by the time I got filled, it was right at $17.01, which is kind of close to the top of this candle. Then we kind of consolidated, and then we dipped down here and hovered around the 1650s, 1660s for a little while. This is probably, a minute and a half, 2 minutes worth of. I'm just sitting here. At this point, this trade was about a $20 loss. And I'm just holding, thinking we're still going to make it back to 17, if not 1750. Where I made my exit was on this green candle right here. We broke through 17 again, and this candle hit like 1730 or so, and I made my exit. Boom. Once I had a very small amount of profit there at 17. I think it topped out at 1730 and then kind of settled in the 20s there. So that became a 20-cent winner. I could have held, and of course we had a squeeze for another dollar worth right there, but this gave me profit after holding with $20 worth of loss to make it up and get green on that trade. I was grateful for that. So not my best moves either way. Poor entries on both trades. I thought this was going to be a good entry, and it just didn't have the momentum at that point. So it is what it is. didn't blow up my account, so I can't complain too much there.